All right. Everybody that has a picture in today is here. Lynn, Helen, Chuck, Larry, Stephen, Susan, Kathy, Bill, and Tom, and Frank, who's so close I didn't see him. Any announcements?
I sent out that email after the last meeting on the holiday party, and it went out to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 14 people. So far, I've heard from 5. One.
Were we supposed to RSVP?
Yeah, well, what I want to do is get a head count, how many people are going to be there, and then,
Add 2 more,
okay.
Lynn and me.
Okay, so Mike, Lynn, and,
What's the date, Frank?
What, the date?
Of the,
I think because you guys are away on the 3rd, so it was going to be the 17th, but I'll confirm that. And then
I'm good, I'm there.
Sue just told me she's coming,
And Tom.
and Tom, okay.
Do you need to know what,
Stephen.
do you need to know what we're bringing? I think I told you.
You did, right. I think we can kind of leave that open. So Tom is coming, so that, let's,
We're at what?
okay, so right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I look at 8. Stephen, will you be?
Yeah, he's coming.
He's coming, okay, so Stephen is on. Bob, I haven't heard from. Larry, you did say you were going to be away. Okay, so. Yeah. Let's see, Tim was funny because he apologized for not attending the last couple of meetings, but never said if he was going to come to the party. So I guess that's a mystery.
We have our usual meeting.
And Chuck, are you going to be there?
No, I'm gonna miss, I'm out of town.
Okay, all right.
This would probably be better if it was on. Got so excited.
Superman.
Got in too big a hurry.
Okay.
Did you get it on,
Microphone?
Test.
There you go.
That one's working.
I had a question about the 17th.
Mm-hmm.
We have our usual meeting, and then
We did last time, we had the meeting, and then right when it was over, we just had the food and everything set up.
okay.
All right, and I'm gonna see how much, the size platter that I'm gonna get of those sandwiches, the small mini sandwiches, and I'll bring cider. If anybody else has anything they wanna bring to drink, go ahead.
Thank you.
So I think we have, quite a few, hopefully, I haven't heard from Bob, and Tim didn't answer the question. And Linda said she would be here, okay. Yeah. All right, so we're getting up there, we'll be okay.
Well, this thing is not working today. It started up automatically last time, and it will not connect today. I'm not getting any power or anything. Wonder if,
Oh, there it goes. All right.
well, we'll see if that works. Maybe it will. If you missed what we were just saying, we're talking about the holiday get-together on 17th of November, December
Yeah, it's
17th.
gonna be a Christmas holiday, not Thanksgiving.
And if you haven't RSVP'd to Frank, please do that. So, apparently, I can mess up even though it's not within the meeting. I uploaded the last meeting, but apparently forgot to send it to Helen, but she'll have the link ASAP later today. So I doubt that the multitudes have never tried to tune in, but just in case. Any other announcements? All right. We have 18 photos today. Let me see whether I can successfully get to it. Where the heck is share? Right there. And of course, that's not what needs to be open. Yes.
I just pulled up the email that I sent out for the holiday. Just want to confirm that it is the 17th.
That's your picture.
Yeah, 12/17, right. And this was my holdover from the last
That I
week.
forgot to get into the queue.
So let's see, I had taken that in the village. One morning I got up and walked out when the sun was coming up, and I wanted to get some, try to get some pictures with the sky in the background, and I found this leaf on a branch I was walking by, so I got down low and shot up at it. So I was able to get that with the blue sky in the background. And so I had taken, it was a 250 of a second, 210 millimeter, f6.3, and ISO at 1250 because the sun was just coming up and it was kind of dark. So the only processing I did on it, and again, it was after a rainstorm, so although you can't see there were some drops on it, but it doesn't show up there. And so what I did was I darkened the sky a little bit, and then I lightened the actual leaf itself to get that to come out, because otherwise it was just a silhouette. You couldn't even see it, but I wanted a little bit of the color in there. And that's what I came up with.
It looks almost like a flower.
Yeah, it does.
It's really pretty.
I think I like it bigger.
And
Yeah.
How about going bigger?
Yeah.
Go
Try
large.
and cut out,
Just go bigger and try to get the
Let
sky.
the ends bleed off the margin all the way.
Question,
yeah,
I'm looking at that and I'm seeing that as kind of a dawn picture where what I'm guessing is you want everything to be a little bit dim in it.
yeah.
See, that's the time of day. If you had wanted to brighten that up, did you have an easy way of doing that, or?
What I did was, like I said, it was dark, so I just took the brush stroke and increased the exposure and just brushed around on the leaves itself.
Gotcha.
And then, because I tried selecting subject on this, and it was you couldn't do it, It's like,
so what brush tool did you use to make it lighter?
on the Photoshop 24 that I have, working within RAW, you got like the regular exposure and all the other settings, then you've got cropping, and the third one down is brushing. Looks like a little circle, and you click on it, and you go to brush, and then you get all of the elements you want to change. And what I did was I just slid the exposure. I don't want to go too much, because sometimes it just doesn't look good. So I went just a little bit, and just brushed around on it.
Did you say that you tried selecting subject and it wouldn't work on that?
Because trying to get around all those leaves, it was having
Impossible,
trouble.
yeah.
If it's a straight subject, I've done it with some other ones. Like I did it with one that I submitted today and it worked, but on this one, it wasn't, I couldn't get it to do it.
Couldn't get it to grab it.
Yeah.
I could have done it if the World Series had gone to 7 games.
Were you happy with the result? Were you happy with the result of the series?
Oh, I didn't care about
Yeah.
No politics, even baseball politics. All right, this one's Frank's as well from,
This was the other one, and this was taken back a couple of years ago. We had gone up to Chimney Rock out in western North Carolina, and we went from the area where you parked to go to the bottom of the falls where they filmed that movie, the Last of the Mohicans. And as we're walking up there, on the rough road that they had, I saw this little leaf by itself sitting there, and it had just rained, so there was water on it. And I just liked the contrast of that leaf
Yeah.
to the blackish gray of the road surface.
It almost looks like water.
Yeah, it had rain and water was, I mean, that road was completely covered with water. And it was good because the leaf was sticking to it, it wouldn't go anywhere. So I zeroed in on that and took that shot. And that was, let's see. A leaf on the walkway. Okay, yeah, that was, I'm sorry, I read wrong readings on the other one. This was 250th of a second, 210 millimeter, f6.3, and ISO 1250 because it was, dark, it had rained. And I had taken it after a rainstorm, and the processing I did was I cropped it a little closer and kept that up in like the third. And then I just darkened, the leaf was really bright, so I just did the same thing with that brush. I just kind of darkened it down a little bit. I didn't have to worry too much about going onto the other surface. It really didn't affect it.
It's a nice shot. I thought you'd change the background. It looked like a mountainside with.
No,
with
it was on the
with
walkway.
Good shot.
Thank you.
All right, Kathy submitted one for last week.
Yeah, this is I've been away a lot, working on the election. And so this is the archives. I haven't been Hunter Beach in a while. And I actually emailed Mike that I was just overthinking this so long, cropping it, narrowing it, stretching it, all kinds of stuff. But anyway, I ended up liking the balance here, so that's my minimalism.
That's nice.
Only thing I'd do, Kathy,
Shell on the beach.
Oh, that is a shell.
Yeah, little shell, little clam. Tiny
Ah.
clam.
I like that it shows one of my favorite effects of ocean water treating and,
Yeah.
that it's running quick.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
sorry, we'll get back to it. Is the dark thing the crab?
It's a piece of clamshell.
Oh,
Okay,
Small clam.
that's kind of a neat picture, just like that.
yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's one of the versions I've got at home, and like I said to you in my email, I was cropping it and moving it, and I just like, I gotta send this in. I can't keep looking at this, so,
You just gotta call it.
yeah, exactly.
All right,
Diagonal.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep.
too, yeah.
all right, now for still life.
So like,
Chuck,
Okay,
I knew that was this color.
this is title 7. This image is a memorial. I'm going to read this because I need to. It's a memorial to a tragic event from 29 years ago. On October 25th, 1995, our son Lane survived a tragic school bus accident in Fox River Grove, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago. And 7 kids lost their lives.
oh, wow.
The 7 lives are represented here by the candles, and the fire pit is the same one that we purchased to celebrate Lane's 16th birthday, which was like 9 days before the accident. I still have it.
yeah. Wow.
But it was ISO of 800, 46 millimeters, f8, and using my tripod, of course, so it was 1.8 seconds. And it took several exposures, of course. And I like this one because of the, it's late, I guess late blue hour, and you can really see the color of the night coming. And even though the flames are less distinct, I had some really cool shots with, the fire, like jumping at a probably a faster, it was definitely a faster shutter speed, and maybe even a more closed down aperture. But this I thought conveyed the mood that I wanted to convey better.
So did
does.
you modify
the colors somewhat to make it that?
No, I really didn't, I mean, I just touched the vibrance a little bit, so I've been, talking with Tom, he's been helping me, learn affinity, gave me a few tips, but basically, I just did, they have, we make raw adjustments, and I just, did some basic raw adjustments on the exposure, and I don't think I didn't do much, and no, so I didn't really play with, I think I might have increased the contrast and the clarity some, but I really didn't mess with, certainly, I tend to leave the saturation alone and just mess with the not luminance, the other one.
Yeah, now that you've told us the significance of the 7 candles, the empty chairs kind of adds a little solemnness to that.
That was, intentional too, thanks for noticing that, yeah. Just a little bit contemplative and
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Was your son injured at all?
a little bit,
That's scary.
yeah, it was terrible.
Oh,
It was one of those railroad grade crossings that are so dangerous where there was a substitute bus driver and she didn't realize that the back end of the bus was still
on the
Oh,
track.
wow.
It was an express train, so it wasn't
Wow.
scheduled to stop there.
Sorry for the losses.
Yeah.
So anyway. So I was in a, Dia de los Muertos kind of a mood, and this is my brother's stuff. And he did a lot of things. He's now deceased, but that's why I have this like memorial. But these are some things that, of his objects that I still retain. And one of the things he did that he really was proud of was driving this light rail in Denver, the RTD. That metal T was the key. And it had some other keys hanging off it on the split rings there. But I had some marigolds, and Jennifer, my wife, had a couple of tchotchkes, associated with Dia de los Muertos. And Bill also really was fascinated by, he was attracted to currency, product. He had like different proofs and stuff. I never knew that he'd like that. So that's the silver dollar proof in the front. And then his commercial driver's license there.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's a union card. It's a yellow thing. It's like reminds you of your rights. You should get called into the office. And here's what you can say, or here's what you should say. And yeah.
Hey, Chuck, when I zoomed in on this yesterday, I thought it was you.
Mm-hmm.
We looked. He was 2 years younger than me, and we look very similar.
I would say almost a twin.
There was a time.
Oh, the driver's license, I thought you meant on the singles.
Oh,
He was pretty young. Yeah, it was cancer. That's right.
Sorry.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, all of us in this room are old enough to have
Yeah.
experienced loss of one kind or another, I'm sure.
well, 2 thoughtful ones.
Yeah.
I think what you're doing with these pictures is really quite extraordinary. It's not an idea that I had at all. It's really a great idea.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. All right, well done, Chuck.
Now, Chuck, I don't know if you said, what was the significance of the dollars? With
Because I want to talk about the significance of the which now?
the bills, the dollar bills.
Oh,
It looks like a sheet.
It says a proof set from the Denver, because he lived in Denver, so there's a mint there.
Oh,
And he
okay.
went to visit the mint, and it's just a sheaf of $1, uncut $1 bills,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's kind of cool. Hey, yeah, you can get those, I guess, And one of the things I did, now I used something on this Tom for an affinity. I selected the foreground, I think. I may have selected the background, but anyway, I inverted it, and then I used the Gaussian blur because that's a very wrinkly sheet that I got sitting there. And I tried to go in and I couldn't figure it out, and then I found the right video to help me figure out how to do it.
To me, it looks like clouds with the sun behind it.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, it kind of does look like, and again, like the candles are overexposed, so they're really kind of burned out. But I was relatively happy with the exposure, and so that was an ISO of 200. I used my super wide angle lens, a 17 millimeter, and it's f6.3. It was a 3-second exposure. So I'll set that up in my dining room area.
That's great.
Thanks, Chuck.
Very nice, Chuck.
One of the things I liked is that the way that the photograph looks like a window to me. Like,
Yeah, it does.
Huh.
I didn't do anything to change that effect. That's just how it was exposed.
Yeah.
I first thought, like, the background was in a cave.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that, yeah.
Could you say a little bit more about how you got the lighting, if that's in the back of that?
I mean, it's just candles. All I did was, this is a cabinet, a low cabinet that's sitting against the wall. So I pinned, it's a gray, like polyester sheet. I just pinned it up on the wall and then, laid it flat on this cabinet. And then had my tripod, so the camera was at a slight angle, so it wasn't like dead on, but just a little bit looking down on it. And I knew I wanted to go wide angle because I want to get close. I didn't want to have to crop it too much, and I crop it a lot. And my art critic wife, she suggested to add some color. I said, I kind of gradually said, thanks for your input, but then I did. She was right.
Oh, dear.
All right. Larry is up.
So this is a still life, right?
Right.
So, that's, red peppers,
Yeah, look at those.
hanging from everywhere you go in Santa Fe. So I asked, why, and, they said it's a sign of welcome.
Oh, okay.
So, like instead of a welcome mat, they hand these, and, this was this was at the National Museum in New Mexico.
Hmm.
And, it was a courtyard, and it was built, the museum was built in 1917. So, and it had wonderful, indigenous art and, local artists, as well. And, I just liked the idea of.
I like the color in it,
Yeah. And you can see
the different colors that come through.
corner there.
What this says to me is welcome to heartburn. What is this called, though?
Yeah, they have a name for it, but
Yeah,
Well, isn't there a town in New Mexico called, is it Hatch?
Yeah, Hatch, New Mexico, yeah.
Yeah, they're like famous for their peppers.
Yep. Anyway,
all over.
Yeah.
good shot, Larry. Oh, come on.
I'm interested in how you managed to keep the bright side from being overexposed and the dark side from being underexposed.
It's just luck.
Just let the camera decide.
Exactly. This is a still life. That's a doorway.
I like the mailbox.
Yeah,
Woodbox.
yeah.
this is also in, on a side street in Santa Fe. And I like those sticks, those.
Yeah.
The whole thing talked to me about what life, was probably like, a few hundred years ago. The wall and the, on the left, the timbers. So Santa Fe is the oldest city in North America. So it was built in 1610.
So not even St. Augustine.
Wow.
And,
To extend your honesty before, I think it's a great picture because you're standing in front of interesting things.
right, that's what Bill
Yeah,
said.
Bill.
It's interesting, to go to interesting places.
There you go.
Exactly.
That's what's half the battle.
But this is a kind of like a Pueblo idea, which was in existence for who knows how many years. And then when the Spanish came up, they liked the idea of the simplicity and the ease in, building, and the reason they used those poles, to, you know, you build a frame, and then you put the poles on top, and then you layered, mud and straw, and you had a home, and they, this was in effect throughout this area for hundreds of years, until in the 1850s, when the railroad was built, and they started bringing in cut lumber.
Oh,
Then
okay.
they went to two-story buildings. But then they revised it back in the turn of the 1900s. They said, let's go back to the Pueblo look. So everything is Pueblo look, even if it's multi-story, although, it wasn't real. But I just loved it.
Yeah.
And what's that
Design work.
to the left of the door? What's that little box?
That's
Is
the mailbox,
that the
isn't it?
mail? Wow,
If the mail was bigger than the slot, you were in trouble.
yeah.
No UPS back
No
then.
UPS and FedEx packages coming.
Yeah, they just throw it over the
didn't
roof,
start until-
over the gate.
1625.
So that must be the entrance to a courtyard.
It is, that's a real.
Yeah, because you can see the trees through the bars and the,
Yeah, a lot of those homes have courtyards. As you probably know, that's a cooling, they sit outside when it's so hot.
and the balancing of the two flowers on each side of the door, the red, that really does balance the picture out.
Yeah, I love the weathering of the door too.
Yeah.
Well, good shot, Larry.
Nice, Larry.
Susan,
Oh. What is that?
Well,
a mantis.
there's all kinds of critters on my screen doors, and this was a gray praying mantis, and, I just kind of kept looking at it, and finally thought, well, I just need to take a picture of it. So I took lots of pictures, and it stayed there for a long time, it just didn't move, which surprised me, but it was alive.
I thought it was a carcass, but I've never seen a gray one.
Yeah.
Wonder if they shed their exoskeleton,
Well,
they don't.
this is actually, I did figure I needed to say something, it's a Carolina mantis. Actually, South Carolina has a state insect. This is it. So for South Carolina, it's a
So
state.
it's away from home then.
I guess so, I guess with
Yes.
climate
It's
change.
not a sabbatical.
But anyway, I just kind of got obsessed and kept taking pictures of it.
It's nice.
Like a fish with legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I,
up in here, it looks like
It
a,
looked like it was a fish.
yeah.
Kind of strange.
Huh. I like the way that it's monochromatic. I like that it's so monochromatic.
Yeah. I did crop it.
Aren't they the ultimate female power symbol?
What?
I said, aren't they the ultimate female power
Oh,
symbol?
absolutely. Yeah, that's obviously
Yeah,
female, because the male's not
yeah.
alive.
Males aren't alive.
oh,
So, actually, this is the result of the Pittsburgh Street Fair. So the cloth, the towel that they're on, actually, I bought at the Pittsburgh Street Fair, and I also bought these two figurines at the Pittsburgh Street Fair, and I'm gonna give them to my great niece and great nephew. But this is, I guess, household still life. I realized had all three of these things, and I just wanted to,
How big are they, Susan?
they're little, they're only like.
oh, that, yeah.
Inch and a half?
The dragon keeps falling over. I actually got a picture of it on his back, but I didn't see it.
That's terrific.
Colors.
How'd you choose to light it too? How did you-
This is, for some reason, in my kitchen, I have these overhead lights. And I've taken several pictures with that lighting, and it just seems to
Yeah.
Yeah,
work.
right.
I was wondering about that, it almost looks like it's in front of a window.
Yeah, well, there's a window, and
Oh,
then there are these lights above.
Yeah,
So it's like a mix of natural and.
Somehow or another, the lighting up more.
I really like the reflection, it really takes up the color,
Yeah.
you know, really brightens up the.
Nice depth of field too.
Yep.
Are they that color, and is the,
They're that color.
and the rug is that, or the cloth is that color?
Yep, everything, so you can tell it what colors I like, right?
Wow, I
Yeah.
love the color.
You know, I mess with it just a little bit, but basically they're that color.
Kathy,
Wow.
I actually started out as a blacksmith and then became a goldsmith, so a lot of metal work. Again, push for time kind of, but I love these knives. These are Hinkle knives, butter knives. And I was interested in the reflections on the surface of the stainless steel. So there you are.
and Kathy, clarify, do you make these?
No, these are stainless steel.
Okay,
These are
all right.
Hinkle. They're a famous,
Well, you used to do metal, didn't you?
yeah,
Yeah,
I started out metalsmithing.
yeah, that's what made me think maybe they were yours. I mean, yours and,
I was telling Susan, actually, I always wanted to make flatware, but it's very time consuming. I've never had time, I wanted to do silver, but it just takes an
Yeah,
eternity.
and expensive.
So anyways, interested in what people think about the, if you can zoom in a little, I don't know if you can, but, there's a streak of red in that one, the second from the bottom. That's actually the reflection of my
Cabinets.
phone.
Oh,
The red of my cell phone.
yeah.
There's some others where you can clearly see the cell phone, and I rejected those. But you can see the cabinets. And I'm just curious,
Oh, yeah.
you know, what people thought about
Oh,
that.
that's a design.
I
on
did
it.
too. I
Oh.
thought it was inlay.
No,
I like the composition and the way you have the knives laid out, the reflections and everything.
Awesome.
Excellent too.
Especially this one on the bottom where you can't, it turns into just a line.
yeah.
Beautiful. That's a great choice.
There's others that, again, it's very, very clear that it's a phone, but I blurred them out, but ended up just picking this
Yeah,
one.
that's a design.
I did too.
Well, this is,
I like how you chose the arrangement of it's just a really pleasing pattern, I think, and
Well, that's interesting, because the next one is the reverse. So way I started out.
Wow.
Oh,
that's cool.
That is,
these are real art, Kathy.
looks like a,
thank you.
Yeah.
And I
yeah.
deliberately left the shadows, you know, there's other, this is just my kitchen counter. I need to get some like materials like you have, I need to get more things so I can control the background, but I really like leaving those shadows from other stuff.
Yeah.
I like the backgrounds too, the color of the background.
Yeah, it's neutral.
But I love these knives, these are, to me, just great.
Yeah, they're so
It almost looks
graceful.
like sand. Your camera,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
almost looks
does,
like
yeah.
sand.
Perfect job lining them up.
Almost looks like,
Sand.
She's saying sand. Yeah.
Yeah, it adds texture to the picture.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
But again, really just love the reflections in the stainless steel, just beautiful, so lovely. Anyway,
Great shots, really good.
really awesome.
thanks.
Okay,
Frank,
this is, in my house, we have a bunch of different dried flower arrangements my wife had picked up, so I took this one. I had used this one years ago with a light painting, and I had it outside, but this one, I put it in front of my front door, and on the front door, it had been plain glass, so you would see right outside into the yard, but we didn't like that, so I went to Lowe's and got this film, almost like, your wallpapering, and you cover the window with it, and you tuck it in and cut it, and it just gives it like, you can see through a little bit, like if somebody came to the door, I could see there was somebody there, but they couldn't look in. Now, on this one, I didn't have to do any, trying to capture the subject, because that was it against the background. So I didn't even do any processing to it. The only thing I did was when I photographed it, because the light was outside, I just took a flashlight and painted over it to kind of bring the flowers out a little bit. And
It's like a big light box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does, yeah.
It's a great one.
Yeah, it was, I was happy the way it turned out.
So this was in the daytime.
Yeah, this was taken, oh God, it was probably about 3 o'clock or so. So the sun was going down on the other side of the door.
The exposure's just perfect.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this was inside?
Inside, yeah. And there was probably about this much space between the plant and the door.
Look, it starts getting fuzzy at about that point, but that's still sharp.
Yeah,
That would make a great,
yeah, you can, cut down and crop out and really make a
picture in a picture, to quote Graham Bird.
Yeah,
We're still quoting Grant.
Yeah, well, I am anyway. I did learn a lot from him.
Me too.
All right, next one, Frank.
now in this one, I took another one of these dried arrangements we had, but this was on a table looking out the window, which was, I think, pointing about north or southeast, and it was earlier than the other one. So I just took this shot, and I closed down, or I tried to get as little depth of field so that the trees and everything in the background were blurry. And I wish I could have toned them down a little bit regarding the exposure, but there again, this one was like a silhouette, the first one I took. So I took that flashlight out, and it was a very small flashlight, and then increased the exposure so I'd have time to brush it. And then this is what I got.
The halo with the halo is
Of the
what
purple.
really does it, I think.
Yeah.
If it was as dark as the bottom, it wouldn't
Yeah,
be the same.
Yeah, I love the lighting, the whole, that you're able to get them by light painting is what you're saying.
yeah,
That's how you get
just
that
brushing it, and,
against that background, yeah.
because, let's see.
It looked like a painting.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I forgot to write down what shutter speed I had, but I wanted to keep it open long enough, so, because sometimes if it was too short, you'd only get part of it lit up. So this way I tried to get all of it and not reflect off the glass in the background.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Pretty good.
I just tried to be very careful, didn't go above the, because at least the top, the light was coming through and shining on it. It was the bottom, the vase and the bottom leaves that were dark. So I spent, most of the time on those.
Did you have a remote in the tripod or?
No, I just put it on 10 seconds and then, the delay, and then got around in front of it and painted it.
Sitting stable, so.
And I used a tripod on both of them, yeah.
Wow.
Bill, who's the guy in the Chapel Hill that does a lot of still lifes? One of the two that has participated in Silver Arts. Bobby, yes. Izquierdo.
Yeah,
He does some things that are very similar to this. But I think yours are more natural than his. He stages them, I think, much more. But these are on
I
par
don't know
with
if I've
those.
seen any of his.
Yeah, some nice things, but this is really great.
Beautiful.
This is
I was
Bill.
very happy to see Kathy's pictures of knives because I kind of forgot about what the challenge was, and the first thing that I thought I remembered was household utensils.
All stuff, still life.
So,
Well, this is not still, though.
well,
right.
see, that's the thing. I didn't remember still life.
Yeah.
That's right.
But the second image is when I remember, when I looked it up and it said still life.
Well, this one's great.
Oh, yeah, this, I like the motion and the,
I was getting ready to make mashed potatoes and I said, wait, I gotta take a picture of something. And I tried a number of different shutter speeds. This was, I think, 160th of a second,
Ah,
and it was on
High
slow,
speed.
but it's still fast.
yeah,
And it was, let's see, 24 millimeters, f4. And all I did is I held it out in front of me and I had the camera in the other hand,
Wow.
looking out the window from our kitchen. So I got the background really blurred out really well. And I just took like 3 or 4 of them at different shutter speeds. And even the first one I took with just one of the
Beaters.
feeders in it. But something about the second one, the
Mhm.
replication.
Yep.
just-
Yeah, that was great.
and I was able to, I guess, shoot it fast enough that I didn't get much movement in the hardware.
right,
So
right, yeah, definitely the
It's not
blades,
perfectly-
getting it, but not the,
you know,
The bar.
clear, but I don't know, it's just,
yeah.
Excellent.
I was desperate. Yeah, this was Sunday. Or, so it was just, I gotta do something,
How
so
many potatoes?
You have those potatoes.
I always make good,
Would you
and
bring
good
us
sweet
the-
potatoes.
Bring us a Christmas party.
Anything?
Oh,
I like butter and milk and a little garlic. So then I looked and I saw something that said still life. So what this is
So you
these
put down the
are,
power tools.
that's right, yeah.
yeah, this was much easier.
T-ball.
Yeah, they're the tea balls where you put the loose leaf tea in it, close it up and you steam it.
Ah,
That's
okay,
I love how, precise the focus is on the dash on the
And-
top.
yeah,
And what I did with this one, this was shot at 120 millimeters.
mm-hmm,
Because what I wanted to do, I wanted to even shallow the depth of field even more. Because you get that compression when you start
Yeah.
shooting at 120. So I did focus on the right one to be really sharp. And you can see how quickly it falls off.
Yeah.
right,
If I just shot it at f4 at 24 millimeters, most of the second one would have been a lot sharper.
right,
And I waited till the afternoon sun so that it came through the window, and that's just our tablecloth right there.
Well, look at the shadow, if you will, of the
Yeah, right.
T-ball on the bottom right-hand corner where you can,
that's,
Oh, nice, yeah.
It almost has a macro effect on the texture of the tablecloth,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Well-
Yeah, definitely down there in the bottom. of
late
this.
late in the week, but nice shots.
Yeah, this was, I think, Monday, yeah, that's when I was really impressed.
Works well under pressure.
This is Helen,
Wow.
the new Helen, the super Helen.
I decided industriation.
Wow.
It's a whisk, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are silicone whisks laid on top of a plastic
Wow.
mat.
Right, that's awesome.
I found these in Foodline, and I made every effort to never cook, so they're going right back to Foodline. But I love the color, and I shot them, I must have taken 100 pictures of this, and I gave up, and it was just time to choose one, I chose one.
What is the background?
Yeah, what is that? I was
It's
gonna
a
ask.
rubber mat.
It's a rubber mat with, there's actually a red piece on it.
Like a disc trainer mat? Kind of like a disc trainer mat or just something?
Just I don't know, I think I've had them 40 years, just bubbly
Yeah.
plastic mat, rubber mat.
Well, and think about what the frame does. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
That's great.
you could print it and put it on it would look like a mat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
How many different frame colors did you try, Helen? Or did you
Every
know
one
right-
of them,
Yeah. You knew right away though? or-
again, I was panicking, this was 4:30 yesterday afternoon, I thought, I
Oh, no.
have to do something, quick. So,
Well, this goes into the highlight reel.
I thought it was an electrical, yeah, I was gonna say, my spectrum was out, I thought
Yeah,
maybe she
that's-
cut the lines.
It's not, now connect the yellow wire to the red.
I like that.
And another interesting background.
Yeah,
What is that?
Same background.
same rubber mat.
is it?
Flipped over?
Yeah.
Or- Yeah.
Oh, I like, oh, what is that? Was the mat like that, or did you change the color?
It's that color, and then there's a red piece of, my jacket, I took my jacket off and ended up under the mat. That is the little doobie that you use to take your faucet strainer off.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
To take what out? To, what was that? I missed what you said.
The little thing that you.
Aerator?
Your faucet aerator, to take your aerator.
Oh, I wish I had that.
They make such a thing.
I use pliers and it always messes them up.
Yeah, my plumber said, "Now, don't you lose this," so I've been holding on to it like it was worth $1 million. Again, I took about 4,000 pictures of this. I was trying to get, some depth of field, but not too much, and, it was kind of tricky to get first. It doesn't look very clear, I can tell, but anyway,
Oh,
I gave up. It's that way.
The lines of the rubber mat, that was a really nice choice there.
Mhm.
wow.
Not to have it, I probably would have squared it up or something, and it looks,
It wouldn't be the
It
same.
looks good.
yeah, it's really nice.
There's two diagonals.
Yeah,
And I like that you positioned the yellow, piece in the center instead of like,
Yeah.
missing. Well, I guess it's on a third if you,
Yeah.
part of it.
And I tried it every which way,
yeah.
as I said.
Well, this one's good, but it had awfully tough competition to precede it.
That is great.
All right. Lynn,
Ah,
So,
do a lot of reading.
this one handheld in desperation, I was having trouble with my little travel tripod. I think this was at like F8, 1/60th of a second, no, I don't know the shutter speed, or excuse me, the ISO, it was on auto, whatever it was. Anyway, it's a bookshelf in my
Yeah.
kitchen.
Interesting, collection of books, Franz Kafka.
That's a
Yeah,
good-
you got
that's a good
Grant.
one.
In the kitchen.
I like that one.
Yeah.
And I like this stuff at the top.
Yeah, that little figure up there, just
Oh, the little doll
Yeah.
came from South Africa somewhere,
that adds.
and the other guy came from, I can't remember. Jamaica, or I can't remember.
I'm gonna borrow books from you.
We got enough Bibles.
Lots of color.
Yeah.
My granddaughter did a cool thing in the bookshelf in her room, maybe others have done it. The books are all arranged by color. So it looks like a work of art, and so, interesting.
Oh,
This one I did use the tripod,
that's
it was just the overhead lights in the room for lighting.
nice collection.
It seemed to have a thing for birds' nests that have been vacated. So,
yeah, at the bottom.
This would be a study in disorganization. I wouldn't want to show it.
I'm sorry.
I said my house would be a study in disorganization.
Disorgan.
I wouldn't want to show it.
Well, not all of them looks like this.
It's really pretty.
I like how the cupboard is the frame.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there's more to it, but down below, that you, and above, you can't see, but.
I like the central one,
Yeah,
the bird
Oh.
feet.
Yeah,
All right.
Nice.
Stop share.
Talk about still life.
Either my screen is really, really dirty, which it probably is, but I don't know why we get so much blur in here that, anyway. Well, again, good photos.
I have one in there, Mike.
Oh, you did? I was supposed,
But I'll tell you, Alice said, Tom, that is a photograph entirely without merit.
I got yours yesterday evening, and my one chore this morning was to bring it into the,
I was very late.
let me see what I can do.
No, it's okay.
Football game?
Struggled right through the last minute. I was in the same boat, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta just send something.
I do too.
And so what I did was I got to the point where I was like, I just need to send something.
Yeah.
So I should have waited an extra couple days and done more. I just couldn't.
I'll put them on next time, Tom.
Here it is, if anybody wants to see.
That's why the challenge is so good, because it forces us to think about things and use our camera.
But sometimes you also kind of just reach out to them.
Here it is.
For a while.
Yeah, I want to
Sometimes
see.
it's gotta go to the archives.
Did you find it?
I'm not feeling it, I'm just gonna have.
What is that?
Oh,
Oh, there it is.
oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Well, I can't do anything to this, but,
Let's look at it next time.
yep.
Here it is. You want to see it?
Yeah, let's do this next
Really
time,
not
Tom.
worth looking at, it's just a.
Well, don't,
And,
I'm dying to
and
know what
Alice
it
said,
is.
it looks like meat.
What's that, what?
Meat.
Wow.
I'm gonna bring it back next time. I'm sorry. I seem to be doing that a lot.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
What's the next challenge?
The next one is short depth of field.
Short depth of field.
Yep,
Is that the same thing as shallow depth of field?
you got it, yeah, same thing.
worried about danger or something?
One, two, three, four.
I can use the same picture again.
7 after that, so we'll have to send out
The
another
second one.
call.
Yeah, I thought the colors were in the second one.
It's strictly, yeah.
I had no idea.
Typically, if
And
it's,
that's why in the end, I'm like,
you're gonna have
just send them, just see what people.
that'll let a lot
Or
of
the
that.
orange oil tank is my favorite.
well, I guess I can't find it.
What are we looking for?
I was
See if you're in there.
I was thinking about what I had in the archives, and I didn't think of what I should have, but talking about bills brought it to mind. I had a picture of it was a light box, but martini glass with an olive in it, but just water, not vodka. And that was titled "The Distilled Life." Anyway, good meeting, and have a good 2 weeks before we see you again.